All right, let's talk about, well, talking to yourself. You know that thing you do when you're looking for your keys or you're really stuck on a problem? We kind of get told it's a weird habit, right? But what if I told you it's actually a superpower for your brain? Today, we're diving into this incredible tool called external processing. I love this metaphor because it's a total game changer. It completely flips the script on how we think about self-talk. So instead of feeling all scattered and chaotic, just imagine you're calling a high-level board meeting right inside your own head. You're the CEO, and it's time to get some answers.
I mean, of course you have, right? We've all been there. Okay, where did I put my phone? Or maybe, all right, if I move this piece here, then yeah, that should work. It feels like this universal, almost instinctual thing we do. And it turns out there's a really good reason for it.
Yeah, this habit actually has a name, external processing. This is not just some random quirk you have, it's a real, recognized cognitive strategy. It has a specific purpose and some very real, measurable benefits. So what does it actually mean to process your thoughts externally? So let's stick with that board meeting idea for a second. What's actually happening in your brain when you call this meeting to order just by speaking your thoughts out loud? Our minds, can be a total storm of swirling, half-baked ideas, just cognitive chaos. External processing is basically the act of reaching into that storm, pulling out one single thought and giving it real structure simply by saying it. And this is where the magic really kicks in. A thought that's just floating around in your head can be a jumbled mess. But to actually speak it, you have to form a sentence. You have to give it a beginning, a middle, and an end. That simple act forces an abstract idea into a logical, straight line.
So what's going on at a neurological level? How does just turning an internal thought into an external sound create so much clarity? Let's take a look at the actual science behind it. The whole process is incredibly simple, and it happens in a split second. First, you think of something. Second, you say it out loud. Third, and this is crucial, you hear your own voice saying it. And fourth, that feedback loop creates order in your brain. The real transformation happens right there in the middle, in the speaking and the hearing. So why does this work so well? Well, when you just think something, you're using one set of pathways in your brain. But when you speak, you engage your speech center. Then, when you hear yourself, your auditory cortex lights up, and it treats those words as new external information. You're literally giving your brain a second chance to analyze the exact same thought, but from a totally fresh perspective.
Okay, so the theory is really fascinating, but what about the results? Is this just a minor little improvement, or are we talking about a serious cognitive boost here?
50%. That's the difference it can make, not 5 or 10%, a massive leap in performance.
So what does that 50% even mean? Well, studies have shown that when people talk through their thinking while solving a tough problem, they find the solution, on average, 50% faster. That is a game-changing boost in efficiency from a technique that costs absolutely nothing. So, knowing all this, how can we start to consciously use external processing to our advantage in our everyday lives? Let's get into the practical application.
So how do you actually apply this? Honestly, it's incredibly simple. Just narrate your tasks as you're doing them. You don't need a complicated system. Just talk through your process, especially when you start to feel overwhelmed or you just really need to focus.
And the benefits pop up almost immediately. Saying something like, okay, now I'm attaching the file to the email, actually reduces your brain's workload. It becomes like a verbal checklist that helps you catch small mistakes in real time, and most importantly, it locks in your focus and creates instant clarity.
I mean, this is the difference right here in action. On one hand, you've got that internal chaos, that jumble of tasks that makes you feel frantic. And on the other, just by speaking each step, you create an external, logical plan. First keys, second wallet. You've just turned mental panic into a clear, calm path forward.
So here's the complete mental flip you should make. The next time you hear yourself muttering through a task, don't write it off as a distraction. Recognize it for what it really is, a powerful tool that you're using to achieve deep focus. So, the next time you feel stuck or overwhelmed, don't just sit there in silence. Go ahead, call a meeting. Talk it out with your most trusted advisor, yourself. What problem are you going to solve?